This is what I'm gonna do.
This gives me flashbacks. Nice. Look at that. Looking dapper. Good job. Do not squint your eyes like that.
I'm just setting it up.
Okay.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Is this good enough?
Yeah, I think so. Also, if you say anything self-incriminating, I am leaving that shit in there. I am not cutting it out to make you look good.
What type of self-incrimination are you talking about?
I don't know. Anything that will make people be like, this nigga's weird as hell. Hi guys, welcome to the kingdom. This is your host, the one and only King Korra.
Nah, you have to cut out things. If I ask you to cut them out, you have to cut them out.
Okay, if you ask me, I will. Mm-hmm. But if I'm using my general knowledge, this will be an expose. Please. All right. This is weird. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous?
I don't know. Why are you nervous?
I don't know. I've never interviewed you before. I think that you are actually a great person for a podcast because we normally have like podcast type of conversations, you know? Like we like normally just go on and on about like stuff. With that being said, welcome to the kingdom, Xavier.
Is this how we kick it off?
Yes.
Is this it? All right, do it again.
Why?
I didn't know when we were officially when like our conversation was stopping and like the podcast would start.
Now I have to say that again. Welcome to the kingdom, Xavier.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today? Or tonight?
Tonight, I'm doing good. I'm tired, like I just told you, but only because I had a long day, but it was a fun day.
What did you do today?
What's going on?
What did you do today? You can't say it? Okay, I know what.
It's not that.
Wow, this is crazy. He doesn't know what he did today, guys.
What's crazy?
He just had a long day.
I know what I did today.
He had a long day.
I know what I did today. I just don't know what to say and what not to say. You feel me?
Yeah, I get it. But one of the questions that people are asking will probably be related to that.
And who said they get to ask me questions?
I said they get to ask you questions. And they had a lot. But also, I don't think people know that we like are actually close, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like people don't know the extent of our friendship.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to know how we met. So we can start off by saying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to say it or you say it?
You can go. And then I can fill in the blanks.
I would say we met the freshman year of college because we lived on the same floor.
Yeah. We were like in a RAP, which is called it's a residential academic program, I think. And everybody in this RAP just takes the same class. So it was like a cultural like thing, Afro AM type thing. And everybody in there signed up for the same one. So he was like 4 doors down, I think. Or I don't know the exact number, but yeah. So we're on the same floor. And then, I mean, I think we just got closed during the pandemic. I don't think we were not closed before. You would say we were close before?
I consider you maybe not like as close as I consider you now, but you were definitely one of my friends that I was looking out for in a friendship I did not want to give up, because I can remember things like the whole argument we got into a little bit around like New Year's time.
What argument?
Going into 2020. You don't remember? We had that like, we were like bickering, and at the same time I had arguments with other friends, and like other friendships didn't continue, but me and your friendship continued.
Oh, are you talking about after the video? Is this the argument after? Oh, yes. So we
you remember that?
Yeah, we kind of have to talk about that.
We were beefing.
Yeah, low key. Because I feel like the video changed a lot. The video changed, like, I don't know, there was like a shift in dynamic, sort of. And it was like, it was subconsciously, but it was evident, if I could say that.
Yet I felt like, and this is probably where I went wrong, because I felt like I was not changing. but I probably was as well. It's just
Yeah.
hard to see yourself changing compared to seeing other people change. You
Yeah,
know, feel
yeah.
me? So I felt like I was still being the same, and like things was happening around me that I wasn't keeping up to pace with. When in reality, it's fair to say all like it had the relationship dynamic changed with, all of us.
Yeah. Okay, we can talk about like the video, I guess. So, if you guys don't know what the video I'm talking about, I made a video with Xavier and
Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh, no names?
No, we can say names.
I
Okay.
thought you were forgetting that. I was like, what do you mean? Okay,
No, no,
go ahead.
no. So I made a video with Xavier and Dylan. It's on my channel still. It was like me asking them questions. And like I forget why. Okay, so Dylan said that he wanted to make a video. And I just thought it would be weird if we just sat together and made a video. So I was like, okay, just we can ask Xavier too, because like you guys were BFS at the time. And I thought it would be funny. And we did not expect the video to be that crazy. Like we just sat there and just recorded it. And we did one take. You wanted to do a second take. And I was like, no, no, no,
Right.
that's fine. We're good. And then I edited it and then posted it. And I didn't really think much of it till like maybe the next day. And I was like, oh wow, this video is doing way more than like normal. And then it just like escalated like insanely in like the next month or so. And it was just crazy. Like I was gaining so many followers on Instagram and YouTube, and you were getting a lot
Subscribers.
subscribers. I mean, yeah, and you were getting a lot of followers. Dylan was getting a lot of followers, and okay, I can say honestly, where my would I say animosity? I don't know. I don't think it was animosity, but what what I was annoyed about at the time was the fact that you didn't post the video when we posted it, when I posted it. But I don't know why, because that was like such a a minor detail, you know? But I just felt like, wow, he didn't even share the video to his friends. And then the video's doing so well and he's getting so many followers, but he didn't even share at first. And I was like, I don't know, it like bothered me. So I don't know. Then I just it was just a weird tension, I feel like.
Yeah. And I remember because we talked that through, and it was like, I didn't even on my end think I would need to share the video because, in my opinion, I was like, anybody that's following me is following me from the video. Like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
am I
yeah,
sharing
yeah.
it to besides people that have already seen it? But
Exactly.
what you explained to me was it was less about trying to get the word out because
Mhm,
the
mhm.
word of the video was doing just fine.
Yeah.
And it was more about the principle of, sharing what you had put your time and effort into creating rather
Yeah,
than
yeah,
just
yeah.
acting like people were just following me for any reason, like making it
Right.
being more transparent about what was going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I was just like, oh, you could have just been like, oh, my friend just posted this video, right? But
Yeah.
it was something I think also it stemmed from insecurity because it was just like me right now, I would not be mad about that, I don't think. But that situation showed me a lot because you said something that stuck with me, not gonna lie. Like when we were sitting at the break table and then we were having the conversation because you're like, Cameron, we need to talk. Like, why are we arguing? And why are we just bickering back and forth? And then I told you why. And then you were like, you were like, I would lose all these followers if it meant I got to be your friend. And that was the sweetest thing you've ever said to me, Xavier, like ever. And I was like, wow, wow, I would not lose 20,000 followers for somebody.
Hey, yeah.
If I had to choose between Xavier and a blue check on Instagram, I would choose the blue check on Instagram. I'm just playing.
Back then is what you're saying.
No, right now. Right in this
God
current
damn.
moment. But yeah, you said that and I was
Oh
like,
man.
"Oh wow, that was some real shit you said." So I was like, "Okay, all right." And then I think it just got better from there after that.
Yeah, I do too.
We just talked it through it. That's why it's important to talk about your problems. Because if I just held that in and then you just held that in, it'll just be there constantly, like all the time. and we
Yeah.
probably would not have been friends still. Somebody asked this, that's why I'm asking this. How do you feel about how well the video did? Like, how do you feel about that whole thing? Everyone following you and getting so many DMs and Snapchat ads and stuff like that. I know it was a big
Well,
ego boost.
I think one of the funniest things about it is that one, I had no clue how the YouTube algorithm works because I remember texting you like the day or 2 days after you had dropped the video, and I was like, "Yo, this video has like 1,000 views. That's crazy."
Yeah,
And you kept saying to me, you were like, "Just wait, like
I know.
it's
Yeah.
going to get way bigger. Just wait." I was like, "How could it get bigger? This is like 1,000 people that just watched this in a single day. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to think about."
And I was like,
And
just wait,
but at the same
Xavier.
time, yeah, you just kept saying, "Just wait." That video has so much like raw energy and just honest energy in the
Mhm.
video that it's a moment that you just want to be able to watch, which I kind of think is what a lot of like successful YouTube is based on. Why vlog culture is popular in the first place
Yeah.
is because people want to be able to watch like real authentic moments. And it wasn't like we did anything special,
Mm-mm.
particularly like we sat in front of a
We didn't
window.
even say like
We
we
just
didn't
had a
even say
conversation with
anything
each
like
other.
we didn't say anything prominent or like groundbreaking. Like there was no substantial information in that video, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we was just having a conversation and it was just funny and we were bouncing jokes off each other. And I don't know. I just see my favorite part about the video is that it's one of those things that you can go back and watch it and it's like I said, it's just real authenticity that we captured on camera
Yeah.
that reminds me of like, oh, this is how I was, this is maybe how I thought, or this is who was around me like at this exact timestamp.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm not even thinking about how many other people have seen it because the most that I can think about is talking with you about it and talking with other people that I know or talk to on a daily basis about like what that was. But at the same time, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Like almost 2 years actually. I think maybe 2 years.
no, it was a year, but it was a year and
Oh.
like some change too, because it was the previous December. So it's been
Oh.
like 15 months or so. It's a long time.
Yeah. But you never answered the question.
What's the question?
Like how did that make you feel?
Um,
Did it like
popular in a word. It just made me feel like people wanted to hear more of my opinions, which was cool
Mhm.
because it's one of the things I've always been like, if I had goals in my life, being wealthy, being successful, it is what it is. But like one of the biggest goals in my life was like, I want people to care about my opinions. Like
Yeah.
it's a simple way to put it, but I felt like people cared about what I had to say in the video. So I was like, okay, that feels good. Gave me more confidence in terms of speaking my opinion around other people. But it did a
Yeah.
lot of other things to me too. Like people people that know me know that I have my qualms with social media as a whole.
Yeah. You don't
And
like it.
yeah, I don't like any of the apps. Like
Hmm.
can't I just I can't even really articulate very well. I feel like every time I try to articulate why I don't like different social medias, it's always a different reason. But at the end of the day, I just have my personal qualms with it. And I I try not to let myself get caught up in it. And every time I feel like I'm getting caught up in, be it Instagram, Snapchat, like TikTok, whatever it is,
Yeah.
I I drop the hammer down and I just delete it completely off my phone. And I think the craziest thing about the results, not the video itself, but the results of that YouTube video we made,
Hmm.
is that that was like the longest time period I had gone of just like straight using Instagram consistently.
Yeah.
I went like a year of that video using Instagram. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it is for me. I was going on Instagram every day, scrolling through things, scrolling through activity in my feed, and like Snapchat, I had to delete right away. I deleted Snapchat in like a couple months because I was like,
Why?
because I couldn't keep up with it. I was like, this, I just couldn't keep up with it, basically.
Yeah.
And my whole thing about Snapchat is like, it comes down to like, everybody knows what Snapchat is for. Snapchat is for like building a roster, more or less.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Dead ass. I'll speak for myself.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, I was like, yeah, I don't need this right now. This is not where my goals are at. And then Instagram, biggest tool I got from Instagram was being able to communicate with people of higher status, because now it shows that I'm of higher status as well. Just
Yeah.
reach people like producers and things like that that I wouldn't have been able to before.
Yeah. You walked around with a speaker. Like you came back from school and just walked around with the speaker blasting music. You were walking around blasting music around Hamp like you were the shit. Was that your goal?
After the video?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that all the time.
Really?
I used to do that freshman year. It's funny though that it looks that way, because I used to do that all the time. I actually think I was much more full of. I actually think I had a much bigger ego before that than after that.
Really?
I think freshman year my ego was ridiculous, and there was like not a lot of like substance behind why it was ridiculous. At least sophomore year, I
I
had
think I
big
know why
things
it was
to
ridiculous.
better myself. You know why it was ridiculous?
I think I know why it was ridiculous.
Because
Because
there's no substance behind it. It's just ego for no reason.
but also you were like in a new environment and there's just so many people. And I feel like you enter into college and you realize like, wow, you have like freedom and like access to all these things and like access to all these people. And but I think that people just thought that you just had a big ego now. So then I feel like people were just like, I don't know, being weird about it, low key.
You know what's crazy? I had heard my roommate told me like he was at the nobody knew Miguel was my roommate. And he told me he was working at Hamp one time and he ran into a group of people.
Yeah.
I won't name who it was, but
Okay.
he was like cleaning tables and he heard a group of people talking about me. And one of the things they said, which I still remember to this day, they were like, yeah, I just don't like the moves he's been making.
What?
And
Wait, I feel like I've heard this before.
Okay, yeah. So I told you before. Yeah. So Miguel comes back into the dorm at one point. I'm just in there like playing Madden or whatever I was doing inside the dorm. And he was like, yo, X. He used to, Miguel was funny. He's like, yo, X. I was like, what's up? And he starts telling me I ran into these people, or like I overheard these people talking at the dining hall, and they said they don't like the moves you've been making. I have a question, like, what moves have you been making? Tell me why. I stared at him for a solid like 10, 15 seconds. This was actually not a life-changing experience, but it was a game-changing experience because I was quiet, just staring at him for like 15 seconds. But really, I was like looking past him, like I'm looking off in the distance. And I'm like, opportunity has like fallen right in front of me. Like, what moves have I been making? And then I didn't feel like I was making any moves. And I was like, shit, like it's time to make some moves.
Yeah, now you have to make some moves. Give people something to talk about.
I always wanted to be an artist. I was writing music and writing songs way before I was recording them, but I had just gotten into the practice of recording songs and recording things I had written.
Yeah.
And that was just one of the moments that I was just like, why am I keeping this to myself? Especially if there's people that even though they knew nothing about me musically, there are people that want to hear more from me. Why am I keeping this to myself? Like,
yeah. No, because I was also really happy about that because now he has an audience where he can like do what he's always wanted to do. Because I already knew that you would like sing and like write songs and stuff. But I don't know what they were talking about then. I feel like you were just walking around normally. But when people perceive you a certain way, they just stick to it and then get everybody else on board.
Yeah. And I'm not big on trying to build a perception or build an image. And I feel like it just gets stuck to like I just get labeled whatever it is. I'm just like, okay.
Light skin heartbreak nigga. You gave yourself that label.
I did, but I don't hear that label very often. That must be a label that's like under the whatever it's called, like low
I'm
key
gonna
or
start
something.
saying that then.
You know what's the craziest thing I be thinking about?
What?
We've been in quarantine for like the majority of the time since a lot of what our like lives perspectively have been different. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Since for me, it's ever since I started releasing music down to my first song that I ever dropped, I've been in quarantine.
Yeah.
I have not been in an environment like college or any other public environment where we can go outside. I can try to perform shows. I can try to properly advertise myself or brand myself to other people. I've been in quarantine ever since I started. And now it's been over a year because the anniversary of my first song was a couple days ago, just 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy when I think about it. For you, like your Instagram was blowing up, but now you're like making significant moves, like Instagram wise, YouTube wise, and other things that you've been up to.
Yeah,
And you've been in quarantine for a year. Like
that's true.
sometimes I just be thinking about like, what is it gonna be like when quarantine is legitimately
Yeah,
over?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But I feel like a lot of people needed this to happen. Like needed this time because we're always like running around like distracted with so many things. Like when you finally have time to sit down by yourself like in your house every single day, you start to like reflect and like be like, okay, this is what I can do and this is what I have to do and this is what I can like change and stuff. Do you think you've
Yes,
changed like during quarantine? Like growth?
so much,
Yeah,
so much.
I agree.
It hasn't all been growth.
What what you've been going
It
back
hasn't.
like two steps forward, one step back.
I don't know. I feel like I've regressed a little bit in terms of outgoingness because I just I don't know. I stick to myself more. That's probably a direct result of quarantine. I got my key people that I trust, my key people that I talk to, and I keep it at that.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, what's your major? You have to tell people your major and what you're in school for.
I'm in the Eisenberg School at UMass Amherst,
Yeah.
studying operations and information management.
Nice. Do you plan on doing something with that when you get out?
I have an operations job that I work right now that you know about. I work remotely from my house,
Yeah.
basically just sorting, responding, and processing emails and work items.
And we have one more year too, so like I don't know, things could change in the next year. But we're gonna be back on campus, which I'm
Yeah,
excited
the
about.
job I have now started with the job I have now started with an internship and has moved into a contract position, and now I've been doing that for about a year now.
Good job.
Thank you.
Proud of you. Okay, we're gonna go into the questions because there's a lot, and they're all over the place too. They're just like all about like different things. Okay, because
Okay.
people want to know a lot. You're kind of like a mysterious character, you know? You just appeared once, grabbed people's attention, and then disappeared, Loki.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson.
Uh, yeah, like Michael Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you for comparing me to Michael Jackson.
You said that yourself.
You agreed with me though, and I appreciate it.
You look like Michael Jackson.
Because it's Thriller.
Okay, we can say this one because we were just talking about it. But someone said, "How do you feel about the pandemic last year versus now? Like now, how do you feel about the pandemic versus how did you feel about it last year?" I think.
All right. I'm gonna use this as a platform to not hold back at all, but I
Okay.
will try to keep the ignorance to a minimum.
Thank you.
Okay. To a
Thank you.
minimum,
This is
not to
my
zero.
image. This is my
To a
image as
minimum.
well. Okay, good.
I was about to say one of the few, but I'm actually one of many out of the way that I just happen to have been blessed that I'm asymptomatic and immune to the
Mhm.
pandemic. It took me
Yeah.
a good amount of time to learn that. And then it took me less time to realize that that's about 60% of people in this country.
Really?
Yes, like I'm not in the minority at all. There's been 25 million cases. Dr. Fauci said, those numbers could be as little as 1/4 of what they realistically could be,
Hmm.
which means you could have up to at most 100 million reported cases. That's a ton of cases. First of all, 100 million is crazy because we
Yeah.
only have 25 million reported, right? There's almost 400 million people in this country. This pandemic has been here for a year.
Hmm.
That's 270 million people that never caught this virus.
Yeah.
I'm one of 270 million people that can't catch the virus.
So you're not gonna get the vaccine, is what I hear.
I'm not going to jump in front of elderly people and people in need. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I'll get the vaccine when they've distributed to those who need, and
Yeah.
then they have some left over. That's when I'll get the vaccine.
Okay. All right. I just spotted a question that it just got me really excited.
Okay.
Thoughts on fragile masculinity?
Fragile masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, First thought that came to mind is I'm getting fragile masculinity and toxic
Toxic
masculinity.
masculine. I feel like it's the
Is it
same
the
thing.
same
They
thing?
they kind of go hand in hand. Yeah.
Okay. I'm working on eliminating toxic masculinities out of my own life.
Thank you, Jesus.
I don't have that many. Don't even act
Yes,
like it's like
you
that. No,
choose.
it's not like that at all.
You like, yes,
No,
epitome
it's
of
not like that at all.
toxic
Because
masculinity.
the epitome, is that what you're really gonna go on air and tell me I'm the epitome of toxic masculinity?
If you looked it up in the dictionary, you'd be there. You called yourself an alpha male. You called yourself an alpha male. That is toxic masculinity right there.
How's that toxic? That's me being confident in myself, right? Huh? Right? Huh? Ain't that your own words?
Okay, period.
Period. Exactly. Because that's the motto of let me come to a stop right here.
Yeah, you might want to. Okay, keep going. What are your thoughts on toxic masculinity?
I think there's definitely toxic masculinity, but it's just exaggerated. Like there are people that are toxic, and then there are things that aren't toxic. They're just, you need these things to be in place. In my opinion, it's like the concept of double standards, and people hate the concept of double standards. But when you really think about it, you actually need double standards to function as a society. A double standard would be, how come, men can behave this way, but women can't behave this way?
Yeah.
But if men and women were 100% equal, there would be a lot of things that would collapse. Like there's a reason that it's more illegal for a man to hit a woman than it is for a woman to hit a man.
Yeah.
Because biologically, a man could do more damage. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's a double standard we need to have in place.
Yeah.
There's plenty of double standards we don't and we should dispel and get rid of. But I mean, there's double standards that you need to have in place in order to function, in order to have a functioning society. So I was kind of off on a tangent, but I feel like toxic masculinity, like I don't have thoughts on it. I don't really think about it. I just try to not be a toxic person.
When I try to get you to not be a toxic person, it just turns into an argument.
And because I feel like you are so far on the other end of the spectrum, it's outrageous. Like the things you're telling me that I need to do
I'm
in
a
order to not be
feminist.
a toxic man is outrageous. Like
I'm a
that whole thing
feminist.
about, remember that whole thing about Brockhampton? I didn't forget that. You were like, you said I'm homophobic for not listening to music that has homosexual words and phrases in it. I'm like,
Yes.
I just don't personally want to listen to that. That does not make me homophobic at all. Like, I
But
just don't want to listen to that.
but it would be different if you said just don't like their style of music. But if that's the one thing you're going based off of, you know how that sounds? That sounds bad. If you were just like, okay, I just don't like their rap, you know? But if you pinpoint that one thing from them and it's only one gay member, it sounds bad.
Well, would you listen to rappers that were only talking about gang banging and abusing other people?
It's all around us. Like that's mainstream rap.
Yeah, but if you don't want to be influenced by it, would you listen to it?
No? So you think you're gonna be gay if you listen to gay music?
No, don't even put those words into
You
my mouth.
you said
Here you go
influenced
again.
by it.
Here you go again. Don't put those words into my mouth, okay?
Okay.
Listen,
All
when I hear a song,
right. Mhm.
I pick up on the lyrics very fast. And you know me, I love to sing. I don't want to get caught lacking singing some of these songs just because I listened to it once or twice. Next thing I know, I'm walking around my house singing whatever it is. I don't even know what the songs are. I just know I don't want to be singing them in the back of my head.
Okay. All right, but I feel like you should just give one song a try. Okay?
I don't have anything against Brockhampton. I'm just not,
What song did you listen to?
I don't know.
See, you don't
You showed
remember.
it to me.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it was in a dorm or something. Were we in
it
school?
was.
Oh, and it had a
Yeah.
gay bar. Is that what you remember? I think
I
it had a
remember it
gay
had several.
bar. I think I showed it to you guys for the shock value. Shock factor.
Yeah, you love doing that. You love doing that.
I love baiting. I'll purposely send Xavier a tweet I know he'll hate. And then when he disagrees with it, I'll start an argument.
I know that you do. That's why the other day I sent you all of those I sent you all those TikToks that were just like,
Just everything I hate.
yes, because I was like, nah, you be doing this to me on purpose. You know what? I'm gonna get you back. I sent you that TikTok about frat parties. Yeah, I know you hated that one.
Yeah, because that was so stupid. Like how that was ignorant, first of all.
Okay, I know you hated it. I was watching the TikTok like, yeah, this is super ignorant. I'm gonna send this to Karen. No
And then
description or
get
nothing.
her mad.
Because I know you be doing that to me.
Yeah, but see, when I do that, I genuinely want to see if you have like a change in mindset. You just never do.
You know why?
Why?
I am not gonna let other people's flimsy opinions
Mm,
and
Lindsay.
especially random people's opinions that they post onto TikTok shape my values and my beliefs as a man based on what I've been raised with.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also think that you are that way because you just are never really were on social media in the first place, so you never gave it like that influence over you. Like you're
Yep.
kind of like disconnected from it. You understand that that's a different world, as opposed to people who are like involved and like absorbed in it, like me. If I say this next question, you're gonna think that I'm like baiting you or I'm saying it because I want to, but there's genuinely like 4 people who asked the same question, okay? It says,
All right. And if I don't want to answer, I'll just plead the fifth.
yeah, if you don't want to answer, you just plead the fifth, but they said, what do you think about colorism?
What do I think about colorism?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't
I don't
think
think
my.
about colorism. I have no
Yo,
thoughts on colorism.
you're putting words into my mouth. Okay.
What? Okay, sorry. You finish. Finish what you have to say.
I know me and you have talked about it a lot. A
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a thing that exists in society.
hmm
I think it mainly happens because of not social media, but media in general. One big thing I've noticed in the past several months is like a lot of commercials now have mixed race people with long curly hair. I've
Yeah.
noticed a lot of that.
It's always been that way.
No, it hasn't.
What did it used to be?
White people,
Oh, yeah, you're right. But I'm
like
saying like that's
always has been white people.
yeah.
And only if they're advertising some specific product, they'll just put all black people.
hmm
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's a lot of like mixed race and much and like more, it's like more diversity, but it's less at the same time because the diversity that they're choosing to include is specific diversities
Yeah.
on TV.
Exactly. It's like what they deem acceptable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they'll have um like a black father, white mother, and it'll always be like an interracial family. And I don't know if they're trying to do like hey, we can all get along or what look they're going for. But that's what I noticed about commercials too. Like all the families, even like TV families, like the dad would be dark skin, wife would be light skin.
Well, I will say what I've said to you before is a personal opinion of mine is I think it's okay to have preferences.
Please, we cannot start this conversation.
Okay, we don't have to start it.
Okay, good.
They asked about
Pref-
my thoughts. That's one of my
preference
thoughts.
preferences on skin color. Is that what you're saying?
I believe you can have a natural attraction. And I think the biggest thing I want to separate is race and skin color are two different things.
What? Your skin color makes your race.
Okay, what race am I?
You got me there with that one. You're
It's
black. You're
it's the
black and
first
white.
thing I
You're
have to say.
you're mixed race. That is a
I'm black.
race.
I'm black and white.
Yeah.
That's my race. What's my skin color?
White.
So does your skin color make up your race?
Okay, you're right.
It doesn't. Skin color and race are two different things. I think having a race preference
hmm
is super weird. Having a skin color preference is natural. What I've said to you before too, I feel like I probably need to clear the air after this.
Yeah.
I don't have a skin color preference at all.
But you ride so hard for people who do.
I ride so hard trying to tell you not to judge people who do, because a skin color preference is a natural thing. A race preference, in my opinion, like I said, a race preference is kind of weird because in order to understand race, you have to understand like power dynamics to
Yeah.
understand race. It's kind of weird. It's the same thing I feel about having a wealth preference because you can't be born with a wealth preference. That is a learned behavior. You have to learn what wealth and money can do for somebody
hmm
to be able to be attracted to wealth and money.
hmm
But you literally can be born just like people can be born with sexual orientations and preferences of physicalities. Oh, I prefer tall people. I prefer short people. I prefer athletes. I prefer,
See, but
you know, this.
those are reasonable preferences. Like I prefer a loud girl, a shy girl, high voice, low voice, you know. But if you
That's
say
a
like,
personality.
yeah, well, but that could be a
Tall or short is a physical feature. Skin
okay.
color is a physical feature. I think the biggest thing I want to tell you, and then we can move on to the next thing,
Hmm.
is that race and skin color are two different things.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that with more of my when I think about that deeply. But I have seen people who prefer like dark skinned boys, you know?
Hmm.
Like will only go for dark skinned boys.
Hmm.
So I see what you're saying on that. But I don't know. I just feel like the whole concept of like skin color preference in itself is weird to me. And wealth preference, I don't think is that weird.
I know you don't. That's why I brought it up.
I think if you are of a socioeconomic status, you would want to prefer someone of the same socioeconomic status. The problem is when people don't have anything and then want someone with everything. You know, it's like, what are you bringing to the table? But if you genuinely have it for yourself, why would you want somebody who doesn't? You know,
Hmm.
would you date a girl who made you buy everything and pay for everything, or is that something you just naturally want to do?
It's not something I naturally want to do. I
Okay.
definitely need give and take, but it like I'm not just gonna straight up say no because it depends. Maybe she's offering something else substantial to the relationship that I can't offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay, that
it's
makes
a
sense.
it's a hard hypothetical to get into. I just think, a wealth preference is a learned behavior. So
Yeah. Somebody asked like wanted to know what are like issues you faced being mixed.
honestly, it was a lot of personal confusion for a long time
Hmm.
that I didn't know who I should hang out with and who I should get close to and like where I belonged.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Hmm. And it wasn't until recently, I'd say within the past 2 years, that I came to the conclusion that's like right in front of your face. It's just so much easier said than done.
Hmm.
The conclusion just became hang out with people you like to be around
Yeah.
and that enjoy your company as well. And
Hmm.
it really doesn't matter what they look like or what they act like or what their color is.
Yeah.
just make friends of people who you genuinely enjoy and they genuinely enjoy you as well.
And just you just go where energy you're gravitated to.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
have friend groups of all white people, friend groups of all black people, friend groups of white and black people. I
Mhm.
don't I don't have any friend groups of all Asian people. That would be nice, but I don't.
I have an Asian friend you can be friends with, Victor
Do I?
Vaughn.
Yeah, I am friends with Victor. I haven't seen Victor in a minute, but I definitely
Yeah.
have Asian friends. I'm saying I don't have a friend group of only Asian people. It's probably because
We
I
we
have
can
no Asian in me.
start a gang for you. An Asian squad that you can roll with.
Do we have to call it a gang?
So
Oh,
you don't you don't have the feeling of like wanting to belong anymore. You're just like, fuck it. Like,
oh, no, no, no. I'm still in that sense. I'm still pretty natural where I do want to belong, but
mhm,
I'm not really like looking. I'm not really wondering if I belong or not
okay.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I want to belong, but either I do or I don't. If I don't, I'll move on.
Yeah.
But there was just a lot of wondering and not a lot of communicating. Just a lot of like, hmm, I wonder if they're gonna laugh at me if I tell them I got to go home because my mom cooked dinner tonight.
At
I,
7.
a big thing about being mixed race is different for me is that uh, I I come from a very family oriented family,
Yeah.
and not everybody does. And that was one of the last things I realized because I thought all of my differences were being mixed race. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, this is probably why I'm having trouble feeling like I fit in different environments. When a lot of it was because I just have different family dynamics than a lot of other people.
Yeah, because a lot of people, it's very rare to see like a family unit like you have. I think that's something that's very special and probably
Thank you.
shapes you, like probably shapes your character a lot too. as opposed to like other people. Someone wants to know, how do you know if a guy likes you or just playing with you? That was a big segue, but yeah.
I think it's kind of childish to just be playing with girls.
Like, is there something you do differently if you like a girl versus if it's just a girl you're entertaining? How can a girl know that, oh, this guy really likes me, as opposed to he probably just talking to a bunch of other girls?
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can really. I'll start talking, and maybe some advice will come out of what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can really give advice to girls on this matter. I more so could give advice to boys and
Why?
say, like, if you think you're entertaining girls, the only person's time you're actually wasting is your own,
Yeah.
because you're spending all this time like entertaining different girls for the purpose of what? At the end of the day, uh either they're going to realize you're just entertaining them and they're going to cut you off and you got nothing, or you're going to entertain them all the way to the point where you get tired of entertaining them and then you cut them off and you got nothing. And the whole time that you're spending like talking to a bunch of different girls, entertaining a bunch of different girls, you're not developing yourself in any way. How to know, like, how to know if a guy really likes you versus is just entertaining you? It's like small things a person can do that would actually show that they care about you. You know, if you're driving to a, a, a boy's house, or you picked him up or something like that, and then you went to drop him back off. If he texts you, you know, or tells you, text me when you get home, I want to know you're safe. That's somebody who actually cares about you. That's a
Yeah.
small tell right there that they actually care about you. Another big thing is if their time is accurate. If they say I'm gonna be there in 10 minutes and they're there in 10 minutes, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. If they don't care about your time, then they don't care about you at all. So if they say I'm gonna call you very shortly and then they don't call you for 30 minutes and they don't have a reason why they didn't,
Yeah.
they probably just don't care about your time. They don't know what you were up to. They waited to call you until it was convenient for them.
Good advice. But do you agree that cuz this is the thing on Twitter right now, that men actually don't even care about like impressing a girl. They care about impressing other men. Yeah, men seek validation from other men in terms of like, oh, look at how many girls I can pull, or like look at the clothes I'm wearing. Like I feel like a lot of boys don't do things for girls. They do it for other boys to see.
That's pretty individual. I feel like you're looking to impress everybody. It's not just looking to impress guys, but there's things that you can say to guys that you can't say to girls because it wouldn't work. So you could tell your guy friends, look, I'm talking to 8 different girls right now, and they'd be like, oh, good for you. But you couldn't tell the girl you're talking to, I'm
Yeah.
talking to 8 different girls. She'd be like,
Yeah, you'd get
oh,
blocked
you
real
know what I'm
quick.
saying? So in
Yeah.
that manner, obviously guys are talking to guys about what they're up to way more. But I think people are just trying to impress people in general.
A lot of people want to know if you're single.
Right now, no, I'm not.
You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. He's not single.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend and I like her.
I'm glad you do. It would be
Thank you.
concerning if you didn't.
Yes, it would be.
Do you have a type?
Of girl that I'm interested in,
Yeah.
it's like person, it's like personality, and like the one I like, I'm attracted to people who are ambitious. I'm
Mhm.
attracted to people who are decisive, like they know what they want.
Yeah.
Or yeah, and then when I say ambitious, I mean in terms of like they know where they want to be.
Hmm.
Um, do I have a physical type? Like honestly, I don't think so. No. Like I like
Yeah.
it when we could have conversation and we just genuinely enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. I feel like you have like a broad range of people.
A
They don't
wide
all look,
palette.
yeah, they don't all look the same.
Because I've told you everybody I like, right?
Yeah, I know everyone. I know every single one of them. No, I really do. I actually
No,
do.
you
Yes,
don't.
I
No, you don't.
do.
No, you don't.
I know there was a ginger one, and then and then
Nah, you better stop. You better stop. What next question? What's the next question?
I don't want to sound conceited, but a lot of people want to know what's it like being friends with D King Korra.
It takes a lot of patience.
You're lying.
Not at all. Not at all. Sometimes I get mad, frustrated, and then I just remember I value our friendship so much. I'm willing to put in the work, the effort on my end of the bargain to keep this up. And I see that you do too. But it does take a lot of patience.
Wow.
Yeah. It
You're
was recently. You guys so mad at me recently.
for
We
what?
don't need to bring it up, but like you were so mad. Like you were ready to tell me to not talk to you anymore.
Oh yeah. That was
You were
like
so
3
mad.
weeks ago or something.
And then
What were we
days
talking about?
later, you called me like, yeah, I was wrong. I just wanted to tell you that. Like,
Oh
yo,
my
like,
god. No, you're talking about patience. I think it takes a lot of patience to be friends with you.
it probably does. That's what makes us good friends.
Yeah, no.
Like,
It's
we're
stressing
patient with
me
each other. I
out.
don't know.
I'm losing weight. I'm growing gray hair. This is shortening my lifespan, this friendship. Every argument takes 1 year off my lifespan. Best and worst memories together. I can think of the worst memory I have of you. I feel like you know what I'm about to say. Can you
No,
guess? No?
no. What is
Hmm.
it?
When you guys wouldn't take me to the party. Yes, that takes the cake for number one spot. Number one spot.
Yeah, that was awful. That was awful. The more I think about that,
Hmm.
I got pretty severely manipulated in that situation. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's funny because you were the. It seemed like you were the mastermind.
That's a good manipulator.
That's true. Put the blame on you. When you came back in my room to apologize, like that, like I was like, okay, he has feelings, you know, you know what I mean? Because at first, like even before that, I think we were just like surface level, but then you apologized like so sincerely, and I was like, okay, like I couldn't even be mad if I wanted to. Like I wanted to be mad. I wanted to be so mad. But then you were like nice about it. So I was like, okay, I'll just let it go. But then I never let it go because I think about it every day.
Every day.
I'm just
Oh
kidding.
shoot.
But I think best memory, I don't know. We have a bunch of good memories.
We do have a bunch of good memories.
Maybe trying boba for the first time.
For you, maybe.
Best
I,
memory.
I know what our best memory is, in my
What?
opinion.
What?
The vlog we filmed driving in your car when we went to KFC.
Oh yes.
That day was mad fun.
Yes. 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 You're right. I would say that is the best memory. Yeah. Even down to like going to the basketball court. Like
Hmm.
the whole day was fun.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Bunch of people want to talk about music and then we can end this. Okay.
Thanks for saving music for last. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a good way to. What inspired you to make music?
The more I tell this story, I feel like it probably makes me sound pretty conceited, but I'm not going to change my story. This just is what it is.
Yeah.
I was listening to more and more artists, and then I was just like, as I got older and I understood more of what they were talking about,
Mhm.
and and got more into listening to music in general, I just started thinking around like my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college. I was just like, if I really tried, like I could make better songs than what I'm listening to right now. I just genuinely thought that. I was like, I could do this better than they're doing this right now.
So then you started it.
And but the thing was, I had been writing, I was always into like writing songs. I don't know why. I just had never thought of recording them. Like that's
Mhm.
when I had that thought is when I first got into I should try to record something I've written. Because I used
Mhm.
to love writing I used to love doing like freestyle battles at school.
Yeah.
And so I would write down bars, and then next thing I knew it wasn't really bars, it was just like singing
Yeah.
riffs, I guess, or whatever you call it. And so, but it wasn't until I was listening to music and I heard people spitting bars that I was just like, you just rhymed like easy words. Like I could have read this in a Dr. Seuss book, and I was like, I should try this myself. Like
Yeah.
I love listening to music, I love singing, and I write in my free time. Like I definitely should record something.
Yeah. And I feel like because I wouldn't just sit there and like have a thought that, oh, this is like I'm gonna write a verse. So I feel like once you have that, like that's a gift. Being able to come up with things in your head to write down and say like, oh, this would sound good in a song. Like, because not everybody can do that. Like, I cannot try to write a song if I tried. I guess your biggest inspirations and like an artist you'd want to collab with, like dream artist to collab with.
A Boogie with the Hoodie is a dream artist. Drake is a dream artist. I wish I met Juice World. I'm so upset I never got to meet him.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I really wish I met him. He's actually who inspired me to write my first song that I never even recorded, but the first like full song I wrote.
Yeah.
I remember I wrote it in one night about this girl from high school that I felt like she had did me wrong.
Like, what did she do to you?
She didn't do me wrong at all. She just started dating somebody else, and I was like,
that's pretty wrong though. Because were you talking?
Been me. Oh yeah. And she had told me, she was like, I just got out of a relationship, so I'm gonna wait this amount of time. And I was the stupid nice guy who respected her wishes.
Oh no.
And decided I'm gonna wait the allotted time. So she told me like, I'm not gonna hook up with anybody until this day. And so I was like, yo,
you're counting down the days.
I was like, you even told me that straight up? I'll see you on that day. Next thing I know, she comes up to me days before that day. I hooked up with this guy.
Oh my God.
I was like, yo,
she told you?
Go back to the, yeah.
Go back to the where?
Go back to the school.
Okay. Good one. Good fucking one. That's dirty though. Why would she tell you that? Were you guys friends?
I think she wanted me to put up a fight for her.
Oh.
And I wasn't that kind of guy.
Never chased
at the time.
Bitch.
No. Only save the money, anti-hero.
If you ever think about quitting music, what's the thing that makes you keep going?
Seeing that I've positively influenced people and people genuinely enjoy it. Okay. Makes me believe that I do have a talent for it.
And I guess the last question is, when can we expect another song or another project? April? April what?
I don't have a date.
You don't have a date? But sometime in April. Wait, is it the song? Is it the song? Like the rock?
Plenty of songs.
I know, but but you know what song I'm talking about? Is it that one? Or I can't know.
Yeah, I wanna drop that one.
But that's not the one you're talking about.
It might be.
Okay.
You know, Trey Rags. So what if it is? What you gonna do?
Ew! Guys, harass him to start posting TikToks, please. Look at the face he has right now. He'll definitely blow up off of that. All over your For You page. With this.
So what if I do post them?
Ew!
This is the trend I be seeing.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's the light skin phase, apparently.
Yeah, which is the thing that makes me sick. Like, yo, we've been doing this face long before y'all caught on. So get out of here with that. Like,
you were the blueprint. Honestly, you deserve credit for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh my God, it's 1 a.m. All right. Thank you, Xavier, for coming on the podcast.
Again, thank you for having me. Genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. And I can't wait to edit this because I feel like it'll come out good. Bye. You want to tell everyone bye?
Bye, everyone. No,
okay.
Bye. Stop.